Let's have a look at the fourth workout for Viking Wars 2015. The way the first part works is the first athlete will complete their 20 reps of clean and jerks. The weight is 50 kilos for guys or 35 kilos for girls. Then they'll move on to the second part. Then the next athlete will start on their movement, so they'll do their 30 reps of sumo deadlift pull at either 40 kilos for guys or 30 kilos for girls. Then they will move on to the second part of the workout. Then the third athlete comes along, they do their 30 reps of power snatch, weight is 40 kilos for guys, 30 kilos for girls. And then the fourth movement will be at 50 kilos and 35 kilos, and that's the shoulder to overhead. And then they will also move on to the prowler push. Now the way the prowler push part of the workout works is at 3, 2, 1, go, there'll be no one pushing the prowler. Once the first athlete from part 1 has finished all their reps, they come over to the prowler and then they just start pushing by themselves, get as far as they can until the second person comes along, and then they can help them to push the prowler. They can't push at the same time, but we'll go over that in a second. Then once the third person is finished, they help push, fourth person's finished, you will get a time for the first part of the workout. So that'll be your first score when you have all completed all the reps of the chipper, and then there'll be 4 people working on the prowler. The prowler track's going to be divided up into 15-meter sections. So you're going to do 7 15-meter lengths, and then you'll progress to the next section. And before progressing to the next section, you're going to add some weight to the prowler each time.
Let's have a look at the movement standards for part 1. First movement is a clean and jerk. Both sides of the bar must start on the floor. You need to get the bar from the ground to your shoulders, and then from your shoulders, you finish with the bar overhead. Finish with your knees extended, hips extended, arms extended, and the bar over the middle of your body and over your heels. You can do any type of clean you want, including a squat clean, a power clean, or a split clean. And you can do any type of jerk or shoulder to overhead movement, including a strict press, push press, or a push jerk, provided you finish in the right position and the bar is taken from the front of your shoulders. Scaling option for clean and jerk will be a ball slam. The ball will start on the floor between your feet, and you have to jump the ball above your head and get your arms straight above your head. Then you slam the ball on the floor. There is no requirement to catch for the ball slam in this workout. As long as you get your arms straight at the top and the ball starts on the floor, that will count as a successful rep, and the rep is counted once the ball has been slammed on the ground. The standard for the sumo deadlift pull is the bar must start with both sides on the floor. You're going to have your hands inside your feet, and you'll jump the weight so that it finishes above nipple line or above the middle of your chest. And at the top of your rep, you need to have your knees and hips fully extended with your elbows above the bar. Things that won't count for the sumo deadlift pull are not extending your knees or your hips, which looks like this. And also not finishing with your elbows above the bar, which looks like this. Those things won't count. Scaling option for the sumo deadlift pull is a kettlebell sumo deadlift pull. Kettlebell starts between your feet on the floor, and the rep finishes when you jump the kettlebell so that the handle is above the middle of your chest and your knees and hips are extended with your elbows above the handle. The movement standard for the power snatch is both sides of the bar must start on the floor at the same time. Then you're going to jump the bar above your head in one movement. Finish with your arms straight, the bar over the middle of your body, and your knees and hips extended. You are allowed to press the bar out at the top if you like, as long as it's all done in one movement and the bar doesn't touch your shoulders or your head on the way up. Scaling for the power snatch will be a dumbbell snatch. The standards for the dumbbell snatch is both sides of the dumbbell have to touch the floor in between your feet at the bottom of each rep. You then jump the weight above your head in one movement, finishing with your arms straight, the dumbbell over the middle of your body, knees and hips extended. You can have the dumbbell facing any direction when it's on the floor and when it's over your head, as long as it finishes in the right position with your arms straight and hips extended and knees extended. You must alternate arms every single rep. The standards for the shoulder to overhead look like this. The bar will start on the floor, so for your first rep you'll have to clean it to your shoulders, and you can get it to your shoulders any way you like. Once it's on your shoulders, you need to finish with your arms locked out above your head, with your knees and hips extended, arms extended, and the bar over the middle of your body. Now you can do a strict press, or a push press, or a push jerk, or a split jerk. If you do a split jerk, make sure your feet come back together under your body and the weight is in control above your head. Scaling for the shoulder to overhead will be a dumbbell shoulder to overhead. you'll get the dumbbells to your shoulders to start your first rep, and then you have to finish with your arms locked out, knees and hips fully extended with the dumbbells over your body. Now, you can do a press, push jerk, and any type of shoulder to overhead movement, provided that you finish with your arms completely straight, knees and hips extended, and the dumbbells over the middle of your body. That counts. For part one, athletes must change their own weight on the bar. Only one athlete can change the weight at a time. You cannot have help from your teammates changing the weight. You also must complete all your reps on your platform, which will be marked by a black mat. If you complete reps off your platform or the bar rolls off your platform, then it'll be a no rep. As we explained before, the parallel track will be divided into 15-meter sections. You'll do 7 laps of each 15-meter section before moving on to the next 15-meter section. And each time you move on to a new section, you'll add a different weight to your prowler. The prowler must start completely behind the start line of each section, and then one person can be pushing it once. You'll then push the prowler so that it goes completely over the line. At the end of the 15-meter section, the entire prowler clears the line, and then you'll turn around and push it back past the line you started behind. That's now 2 laps done. When you've done 7 laps of this 15-meter section, you'll then add a plate. At the first changeover point, it'll be a 5-kilo plate. The weight on the prowler will be 40 kilos at the beginning. After you complete your first 7 laps of the first 15-meter section, you'll add a 5-kilo plate. When you complete your 7 laps of the second section, you'll add a 10-kilo plate. You'll add a 15-kilo plate after the third section, then a 20-kilo plate, and then a 25-kilo plate. Once you've added the 25-kilo plate, you'll add no more weight to the prowler, and you'll continue the workout at the weight that's on the prowler. Once you get to the end of the prowler track, you can then turn around and start working your way back through the sections. Every 15-meter prowler push is 1 point. So if you do 7 laps of the first 15-meter section, that's 7 points. At the end of the 10-minute cutoff, your score will be total points. An important rule to remember when swapping or rotating athletes on the prowler is you can only swap athletes pushing the prowler at each 15-meter section. You cannot swap halfway through a section.